You're listening to The Money Hour with your host, Tina Mitchell, on Alternative Talk, AM 1150. Now, back to the show with local mortgage and finance expert, Tina Mitchell.
Welcome back to The Money Hour with your host and mortgage expert, Tina Mitchell, right here on 1150 AM KKNW, the Saturday, April 1st show. I built a network of elite industry professionals every week sharing their knowledge and expertise to you, my listener. If you're hearing my show at a different time or day, you are listening to a rebroadcast. To talk with the guests I have in studio today, you can call the show at 1-855-400-1150. Again, that's 1-855-400-1150 or online at themoneyhour.com. Right now in studio, I have Mason Maki with Pacific Northwest Insurance, and we're going to be discussing the benefits of having an independent insurance agent. Mason, thank you so much for joining me in studio. First time for you as well.
Thanks for having me, Tina. Great to be here.
And a little bit about Mason. Mason was born and raised in Phoenix, Arizona, and moved into the Seattle area about 3 years ago. The opportunity in Seattle is what drew him to the city, as well as trying to escape the 100-plus degree weather. I get that. Mason has been in the insurance industry for nearly 5 years, assisting people from all walks of life. He specializes in helping his clients identify their insurance needs and provide them with the right coverage to best fit their situation. Mason believes that honest, transparent communication is the key to providing his clients the smooth possible experience. He has a passion for helping people and strives to be most useful in everything when it comes insurance. So Mason, I'm excited to break it down on independent agent, what that means, the importance of homeowners insurance. And so let's start out with explaining to my listeners, what is an independent agent?
Sure, that's a great question, Tina. So an independent insurance agent typically represents a number of companies. So not just one company when it comes to a direct writer with a lot of companies that you might see on TV or anything in advertisements. And so the benefit of kind of having that is there's a number of different markets that I can represent to maybe help people find their best fit, or obviously price is important as well to kind of locate the best fit for their situation and whatever that is. So being an independent agent's been great. I love the opportunity and kind of ability to work with a number of different carriers.
Yeah, that sounds like a huge benefit to be able to really shop around for the tailored plan that's going to work best for what your client's need is. Now, I talked a little bit about your background coming from hot Arizona here to the Seattle market, but what else? A little bit more about your background, Mason.
Sure. So I grew up in Phoenix. I've been in the insurance industry typically my whole life. My dad is in the insurance business as well, and so I've learned from a young age just all the different lingo and everything that comes with insurance, and so naturally I've kind of navigated to this line of work, and I was with a direct writing company prior to this, and just really saw the opportunity with representing those multiple different companies, and so it's really been great kind of going forward for my career, and to just really best help people in any way that I can when it comes to their insurance.
That's great. So let's talk about the factors that form an insurance premium for an individual.
Right. And that's a great question as well. Many people might not honestly know that. And so when it comes to kind of forming an insurance premium for someone, there's a number of different factors that go into it, whether it's their zip code of where they live, their credit score is a big factor in the last number of years to help with premiums, as well as driving histories, important tickets, accidents, claims on their home, anything like that goes into it, as well as the length of their prior insurance that they've had. And so there's kind of a whole different aspect that goes into an insurance premium, but a lot of those good credit, clean record, no claims, that really helps drive the cost down for people looking for a good price on their insurance.
Mason, what about the claim from the house that they're buying? If that owner had claimed on that house, does that affect a new buyer that comes in as well?
That does not. So typically a claim follows the person. So whether it happened prior, at somewhere they were renting, a claim happened, that would unfortunately follow them to their new home that they're buying. But no, it does not affect someone's house that they might be purchasing from the previous owner.
And just so you know, in the mortgage arena, I mean, a lot of times your credit score is just where it needs to be to get that perfect interest rate. And when you're going to shop for homeowners insurance, you do a soft pull, correct, Mason?
Absolutely.
So it doesn't affect your credit score at all. So I thought I would chime that in. So Mason, what causes insurance rates to go up for certain companies?
Well, that's a great question as well, Tina.
I know, I've got some awesome questions that I come up with.
You really do. I appreciate that. And so some people kind of wonder a lot of times why after a few years with this company or something, I haven't had any tickets, no claims. What's the reason that my cost is going up for my insurance? And the reason for that being that we've seen a lot of companies in the last number of years have been on the rise as far as kind of the amount that they're paying out versus the amount that they're taking in. And so obviously when those factors start to not offset each other anymore, then companies do unfortunately take rate increases. And so cost of medical, cost of repairs for vehicles, homes has really been on the rise in the 2000s. And so we've seen a lot of companies that have lost billions of dollars, honestly, to their then unfortunately kind of stuck in that situation where they have to raise the cost of their insurance. And so kind of tying back to the independent side, maybe a company, something like that might happen. Well, we've got a number of different options to then, look to maybe help lower that cost with a different company that we offer.
Makes sense. And understanding the why behind, I mean, that makes total sense. Understand if I had an insurance increase and there wasn't something better out there at another insurance carrier, the fact that the cost have gone up, obviously that has to be passed on to the consumer. Otherwise, we would have no insurance companies being able to stay in business to insure us. So
Absolutely.
The why makes a lot of sense. What about needing more insurance? Do you have clients that really should be having more insurance than what they have?
You bet. And a great product for that is an umbrella. A lot of people, homeowners, I always offer that to any homeowner that I see buying a home. And it kind of essentially gives you some extra liability coverage in increments of $1 million. And so anybody that owns a home might have some equity or some assets that they really need to protect their family if they were to get in a bad accident or someone injured on their property or anything like that wanted to come after them. The umbrella would help step in with lawsuit costs or anything like that,
Sure.
Subrogation, anything like that. So it's a great product that we offer. It's honestly $10 to $20 a month for another $1 million of liability coverage, and I always try to recommend that to anybody,
That would be
especially
crazy that
homeowners.
someone would not have that extra coverage for $10 to $20 a month.
Absolutely.
That's crazy.
You bet.
So, Mason, how often do you advise your clients to call you up and kind of get a review of what's happening with their current policy?
Sure. I at least every couple years is a great opportunity. I mean, life changes along the way and families and kids and all sorts of things. So I always recommend at least every couple years to kind of go over insurance needs, maybe assets, things have increased. You just never know. Businesses might have started a venture or something like that. And so it's a great opportunity to just kind of review that, make sure that the customers has some peace of mind knowing that every couple years their insurance is well taken care of.
Makes sense. So at least a couple years and on those life changes. If you're getting married, you're having a baby, or any of those things are happening, is probably a good indicator to pick up the phone and call your independent insurance agent and make sure you're still with the right company and you've got the best coverage.
Sure.
Makes total sense. So Mason, what types of business insurance are there?
Well, there's all types, anywhere from, so that's another great opportunity as well as for an independent agent is we represent the personal side of insurance as well as the business side. So if anyone has even a small business to, an office building with some personal property inside for desks, computers, anything, we have a business owner's package that kind of helps package all that together all the way to skyscrapers or anything in between. And so that's as well as a home-based business too. There's a lot of companies that we offer where you can endorse kind of on your home policy, an attachment to it to where you can, insure your home-based business all as part of your homeowner's policy. So the business side is we offer that as well from a wide range of anything for business owners out there.
Yeah, and my next guest, you and Dennis are going to have to pass business cards because as being doing taxes for accounting for businesses and insurance, just saying there's a lot of networking that happens behind the scenes in a studio right here. Yes. So Mason, what separates you from the rest of the industry? I know that's why you're here in studio because I only bring the best of the best, but share with my listeners, why are you so unique?
Sure. So, you can always pick up the phone and call a 1-800 number that you see on TV or advertisements or anything. And so I kind of bring that next level of service that really kind of custom tailor insurance needs to people's situation and circumstances in life. And so that's kind of one thing I've learned from a young age is just service, friendliness. I mean,
Yeah.
that whole to just always kind of take care of the customer, number one, and then the rest has taken care of itself from there, and as well as efficiency too. I mean, being efficient. We just talked about the real estate market and how go it can be, and so the last thing you want to be worried about is insurance and how you're going to get that sorted out, or have to call and be on hold or something like that. And so that's kind of where I can provide that next level of service.
And, I'm sure a lot of my listeners, they may be thinking that it would be really difficult to change insurance companies. And I have to say, speaking from experience, because as you know, Mason, we do a lot of business together. My clients come in and they're getting a mortgage and they all have insurance. Even if they're first-time home buyers, they're insuring their car or they have renter's insurance. And I always tell them, you've got to just get your information over to Mason, let them do a complimentary quote for you so you have something to compare with your current insurance carrier to make sure you've got the best coverage possible. And even though they've been with these insurance companies for a year, they're changing over and working with you. So, and they're right in the middle of a closing, meaning we're getting ready to close in less than 30 days. And so there's that sense of urgency as well, which typically people will go with the easiest route when they feel pressure of time. But so it must be pretty darn easy to change insurance companies, right?
Absolutely. And like I said before, just that efficiency aspect that I bring to the table to really kind of help people make this as seamless of a process as possible. I know that some people might get stressed or worried about the thought or idea of kind of switching insurance, but that's where I come in to just make it as easy as possible. And obviously that's kind of why I have a job today, right? Is that I provide that kind of middleman to the company to just make this as easy of a process for people.
Yeah, and I have to say, Mason, just recently, one of my clients, and I've never seen this. I've been doing mortgages for over 2 decades, and I don't know that I've ever seen a binder come back that was insuring for less than the replacement value of the property based on what the appraisal said that would be. And so we called in a crisis. For whatever reason, they decided to stick with their original insurance company and not move over to yours, which is unusual because majority do. But then we had to get that last minute, and your insurance company was willing to insure it for replacement value. So can you talk about that? And is that becoming more common now with the fact that people are paying more than the appraised value is, or what's happening there?
Sure. So, as far as, people are kind of paying over asking price a lot for homes and things like that. And so loan amounts, can be higher than what they were expecting as far as the cost of the home. And so really from the insurance standpoint is where we look at the value of the home itself. So what would it take if this were to burn down? How much would it cost the insurance company to replace this for full value? And so, as well as a lot of policies that we have extensions over top of the coverage amount that you might have. So in the event something was to burn to the ground, there was nothing left, there's kind of some added coverage in there as well, 25 to 50% over the value that we have it insured, to just make sure that the client can fully rebuild their house, in the event of a total loss.
And that's another important thing in working with an independent insurance agent, because the idea that two companies had totally two different ideas of replacement value and their company would not insure for true replacement value. That was a big deal. So thanks for coming in and saving on that, Mason. So if I have somebody listening right now and they need to immediately get their insurance, let's say that they've got an issue just like I explained, because I'm sure that's happening, and they want to immediately change insurance companies, what do they do?
Call me. It's as simple as that. And so if
How
someone,
do they reach you, Mason?
Sure. So if someone just gave me a call, 425-828-7877, you can reach me on email as well, mason@pnorthwest.com, and I will be on the ball and assure you that I will take care of the customer's needs first and foremost, and so that they don't have to worry about those crisis situations.
And also, you can call the show at 1-855-400-1150 or go online to themoneyhour.com, and I'll definitely connect you with Mason. And Mason, thank you so much for coming in. First time in studio. I'm excited to have you back, and I want to extend a great thanks again for all of the hand-holding and the special attention that you give to my own personal clients.
Absolutely,
really appreciate
Tina.
you.
It's an honor and a privilege. Thanks for having me.
And coming up next in the Money Hour, are you a small business owner? If you are, you need a professional bookkeeper. I have Dennis Graves with Newcastle Accounting and Bookkeeping LLC right here on 1150 AM KKNW after this short break.